Candyman. 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 We have Candyman in the house, folks. Hopefully he does not appear behind me and kill me in the middle of this unboxing and review for you guys. But I got this bad boy from Secret Compass online. Originally, I was going to try and order this through PCS Direct. I was going to do an order transfer. And the owner, Ant, said he'd take care of me. And I gave him a week plus, and they never replied. And so I said, F it, I'm just going to order it through Secret Compass. He gave me a far better price than the direct price. And so I was like, F this, I'm done. So I canceled the order transfer and ordered it through Secret Compass. Now, the reason you would want to order this direct is you get, what was it, Tony Todd's signature, which I'm going to be honest, I don't care about that. The only reason I wanted it was for the can of bees. That was it. But I've been stung by so many bees, I'm like, you know what? I'll save $150 and just forego those bees. I might just buy a Candyman prop. Now, quite interesting packaging. They basically just put a top cardboard piece right here. No, like actual, colored art box, which is fine. I don't care for that. No, I think all companies should do away with art boxes. I think it's a complete waste of our money, and we don't want it. Please stop doing art boxes, folks. They're a waste of money. Nobody wants it. All right, let's see what this is about. All right, that base is definitely bigger than anticipated. That's a pretty big base. Oh, my Jupiter's cock. I still got a jar of bees. Jupiter's frickin' cock. I still got a jar of bee, folks. The only reason I wanted to go direct was to get this, and I still got it. Thanks, PCS, for a jar of little Jupiter bees that constantly sting me. It's actually wasps, folks, not bees. Yeah, this base is absolutely amazing. Holy crap. Not too tooth heavy. If any of you understand that inside joke. All right. So I got number 27 of 300. The one that's on their website that includes the signature and the jar of bees is limited to 150. So there's 450 of these worldwide. We have a body, 2 hands, yeah, the hand with the hook, and 2 heads. All right, seems like the body weighs the most. I'm not cool. Yeah, I'm definitely digging this base. His base is basically like the inner part of his chest. If you guys remember in the movie, when he showed his chest to the chick, you could see basically like this, like his internal bones and guts and bees surrounding it. So the way they did the base, they did that. They did bloody skulls throughout. And then basically a beehive with actual like honey. It's glossy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 25 bees are on this base. And then as you saw, I got a jar of them as well. So we have not seen any in hands yet. Flankster is the first in the world to get this bad boy. Here is the body, pretty heavy. Definitely in line with like Leatherface and them in terms of size. Alrighty. So I was curious on, you can't really open the inner part of his jacket. It doesn't open up. It's like sewed together. I'm just curious. It just feels like clothes underneath, like a white shirt. I don't think they sculpted the inner part to him. It would have been really cool if they did do that. Like you could open up the jacket, maybe having a pose with him holding his jacket, showing the inner parts. That's definitely a really cool part of his design. that I think they missed. All right, let's check out the portrait. So PCS is kind of hit or miss when it comes to human portraits, like at least on production. His eyes are definitely missing a gloss, but the sculpt is really good. I would say the eyes just need a gloss layer. Like, it's definitely missing that. Now, the other sculpt, that one, his eyes are actually closed. So, no swap outs on the hands, just, one pose option there. All right, so you have this hand right here. Hand looks good, no complaints. All right. I gotta say, like, how does this dude walk around in this thick jacket? I would be so freaking hot. I'm hot right now, and I'm just unboxing my statue. I would turn my fan on, but it's too loud and obnoxious. I don't want you guys to hear that. All right, so here's the hook. It's not metal, which is a shame, but it does look really good. There's a good blood stain, has 2 nails going in. You can see that, like, this definitely looks really good. It's a shame it's not metal, but it does look good. And then the clothes right here, they look really good. Like right here, this blood-soaked jacket, that looks excellent. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. Yeah, like that looks good. I like that. All right, next thing is to check out the bee portrait. Let's see what this bad boy looks like. Yeah, he has like 30 bees on his mouth. Let's rotate that so you guys can see. Check this out. Yeah, this one doesn't have the... So you got a ton of bees in his mouth, just at the front part, and then 3, 4, 5 additional bees. Now these bees are a different scale versus the bees on the base. The ones on the base, honestly, are like half scale. Like those are almost life size, honestly. Like I've seen bees that size. So yeah, like I could almost argue those are life size bees, where these are more third scale. They do look really good though. So let's I'm gonna measure this real quickly for you guys. So the base is about 18 inches wide, 16 inches deep, and 28.5 inches tall. So it's a good size. Because of the pose, his head is slightly angled down, so it does help with the eyes not looking as good, like as like a prime 1 quarter scale, for example. Let's test out the other portrait, see if it's how that one looks. You do have to arrange. The wife is making me salsa, in case you're wondering. All right, so this one I like this because his head's looking more upwards, so me putting this down low, I'll get a better look at his face. And then there's not the eye issue, and you get all these extra bees in his mouth. So I may be displaying this one. Likeness is equal on both, but this works better for down low, where this one would probably work better for up high. And let me show you guys the eyes. As you can see, there's 0 gloss on this. Where that's one thing with PCS. When it comes to eyes, they're not super good. Like, they're painted decent, but you compare these eyes to the likes of Ellie. Now this is 1/3, yet Ellie is far more detailed in my opinion. Look at her eyes. How they have that really nice gloss and insane detail. You know, like any of the Prime ones, they have really good eyes. PCS, they need to work on these eyes. They're not like horrible, but this is the same eyes as like the MK1/3 that are like 7-8 years old. So they haven't upgraded. You know, I would love PCS to upgrade their statues. Like the sculpts are good, concepts are good, but their eyes definitely lack in terms of detail. You know, like really just a nice gloss job would look good. And they kind of did like, his eyes are almost just like red instead of white with little veins. Like there's a teeny bit of veins, but they're kind of reddish. Again, the likeness is really good. I'll probably be displaying this portrait though, because it hides the eyes, it gives you more bees, and it looks better down low. Alrighty, I wanted to show you the jar of bees. The jar of bees had a silicone pack in it, and I actually wanted to display these bees in the jar, but I needed to remove that silicone pack. They're not all the same. Some of them actually have like wings, if you know what I mean. Like check that one out. And then this one is different. So there are variations in these, but more or less that's kind of it. They either have wings open or wings closed. I don't plan to display these on the base because when I dust, they will blow away instantly, which would be annoying. There's already 25 there. And in the jar, let's see, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you get an additional 20. I'm going to keep them in the jar though. Alrighty, so I don't have a way of like showing you this next to Myers and them without moving it, but I can show you at least, you know, next to like Pennywise, Freddy, so you can gauge an idea of how this looks scale-wise. You know, you can kind of see. You know, we could definitely compare the heads. That's an easy comparison. You know. These all have masks, so of course they're bigger. You know, where Ash does not, but this is Prime 1. It's a little bit smaller. This head's kind of different though, because it's the, you know, whatever. Next to Freddy, ECC. Yeah, because you can see definitely similar size. And this ogre-looking dude. Yeah, ECC. Look at those glass eyes. Insanely good. Plus they use translucent resin. But this also costs $3,000. This is priced at $1,350 on PCS's website, or Sideshow. It's $1,310. That's like the retail price. So the base is definitely extremely cool. The body, obviously, I mean, this is his design, but it is, of course, very simple. You know, you have his shoes, just like church shoes, those pants, this big coat. The coat, you know, feels like nice material. Has a few pockets. He's wearing a white shirt underneath, almost like he's a pastor. You know, and then this is like, feels like fur. Yeah, that hand, 2 heads. Here is, you know, that, like I said, this is like hardened. It's almost like dried up blood that they put here. And then there is the hook hand. Like I said, it's not metal, but it does have like a really good dried blood look to it, which I do like. And then the bee portrait. Yeah, like these are 3rd scale bees. These are like half scale bees. Now, one thing I did notice on the bee base, every one of these bees, the wings are closed, yet the jar had a few open wings. So I decided to put an open wing there and there just to have an open wing on the base. And I used a little bit of putty to make sure it won't fly away when I dust this thing. You know, his big coat does kind of block some of the base, as you can see. I was like blocking some of it. Nevertheless, this base is really cool, and I do like it. It's painted well. You know, here's where like you'd have honey inside, and then no honey. So that looks really good. It's shiny to, you know, give it that honey look. And then the skulls, there's a ton of them, just surrounded the entire like chest cavity. They look great. Like I said, there's 25 bees total. Now there's 27 because I added 2. But the base is definitely a highlight. I'd say the base is the biggest highlight. After that, it'd have to be the hook hand and then the portrait. The overall pose I do like. It's like that come to me, be my victim type of pose. So definitely cool. Would have been cool, like I said, if you had a hand swap out that could like hold this open. You could see the chest cavity. I think that would have been really cool. Overall, it is a great 1/3. I do like it. Leatherface and Ghostface, how much were they? They were a little bit more expensive. I think he has a better base than Leatherface. I'd say I still like Leatherface and Ghostface more than him, though. If I had to choose, Leatherface and Ghostface are still superior statues. Simply because Leatherface has, a better, I like the portrait more. I do prefer the base on Candyman for sure. But I like this dynamic aspect and the fact that it has a wall. He has a hammer, the other one's a hook. I wouldn't give one to the other. Ghostface is the best amongst the three. Ghostface is freaking, he's my favorite PCS 1/3 actually. I like him more than Myers, Leatherface, or any others. Of all my 1/3s though, the best has to be Jason, Freddy, Pennywise, and Ash. Those are easily my favorite. But amongst PCS, it's Ghostface, then probably Myers, Leatherface, Candyman. Now, I'm really hoping if PCS is watching this, please make a Pinhead 1/3. He is one of the quintessential horror characters that we do not have a 1/3 of. There already is Pennywise, Freddy, Jason. Of course, I know you want your iteration, which would be great, especially since these are $3,000. But we need a Pinhead 1/3. That is who I really want. They do have the Howling and Pumpkinhead 1/3. I've never seen the Howling, so I'm not. Plus, it's so expensive. I'm not buying that. I'm still considering Pumpkinhead. If I do, I got to switch Chucky over here so I could do Pumpkinhead in the bigger display. I'm going to wait for in hands of Pumpkinhead before I commit on that one. Just because this one looks good down low. I like the pose. It's easy. It's cheap. The 1/3 is substantially more, and I don't think it'd look good down low. I don't think the other portrait will look good down low. We will try it, but let's put this down low right there and see how it looks. Alright, so this is how Candyman looks next to Pumpkinhead. Now, Pumpkinhead is considered 1/4. Candyman is a little bit taller. Candyman definitely has quite a big base. It fills this, little garage shelf, the 18-inch depth one, quite good. I don't have it all the way to the back. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's taken up a solid half spot in a garage shelf here. But that is how he looks. So he's almost too tall. As you can see, I still barely see a little bit of space above his head. Fortunately, he's not too tall where I can't display him down low. Because once a piece gets 30 inches tall, it's really hard to display it down low unless you're able to sit down all the time. If you're sitting down, that's going to be your angle. But standing up, which is how I'll be viewing this the majority of the time, that is the angle. Of course, I can sit in my chair and look back and then get that angle. Let's check out the other portrait down low to see how it looks. Yeah, and so that is the portrait. Now, I'm going to be honest, if you plan to display this down low, you can't use this head. It does not work at all. Not even a little. You have to do the B portrait. That looks horrible right now. You can't see that face at all. That is top shelf only if you're using this portrait. Any statue that goes down low, you have to have it looking either forward or up. Looking down rarely ever works. It does work for my Red Sonja because it's a diorama and the focal point's not her face. For him, you want to see that portrait. That does not work. I think Leatherface and Ghostface work down low. Myers does, but he's too tall, But this guy with that portrait, no bueno. Not going to work. So, like I said, I'm going to be displaying the B portrait, which is a little bit more sinister for me because it has all those Bs, and you don't have that whole eye issue. But yeah, that definitely does not look good in my opinion like that. So we're going to be displaying the B portrait exclusively. This is me sitting on the ground. Again, the portrait is just angled too low. All right, I'm looking at it just literally kneeling on the ground. I still can't see his face good. Definitely a higher up statue with this portrait, folks. I am glad they gave us these two options. You know, here is a side-by-side of the two portraits. So yeah, I'll be using this one. This is going in the closet. Yep, and then me kneeling down, that is my angle. As you can see, it's just substantially better. So what is my overall rating of this statue? Now, Ghostface, I would give a 9 out of 10. Leatherface, probably like a 7.5. They really should have included the bones in the back, swap out, give him a chainsaw, even if it's not scene accurate, give a underbase to the whole statue. You know, I like it quite a bit. Like I said, 7.5 for Leatherface. Ghostface, 9. Myers, I'd probably give an 8.5. This guy, probably a 7.5. I'd make him equal for Leatherface. I think that's a solid, good score for him, a 7.5. Equal to Leatherface in terms of what it offers. You know, Leatherface actually doesn't even have a swap out. You know, but at least he does have a swap out, which is nice. But 7.5 is the official Flankster rating. So overall, though, that base is definitely extremely cool. I am digging that base a lot. It is really cool. You know, and I do like that bee portrait, the glove, very cool. So thanks Secret Compass for taking care of me. I hope PCS customer service improves in the future. As you saw, I put the jar of bees right there. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.